consumers can come very close to experiencing the cuisine of a brand or a vendor or a retailer.
Assalamualaikum, Mr. Habib Mansoor. So thank you for giving us this opportunity to interview you today. So it's definitely a pleasure to have you and sharing your insights that would greatly benefit the F&B industry in Singapore. So the reason for this interview is to kind of understand from your perspective on the evolution of the halal food in Singapore and how do you see it in the future. So maybe before we start, you could introduce yourself as well as like kind of share a little bit about your involvement in the halal food industry.
Waalaikumsalam. Thanks for having me today. My name is Habib Mansoor. I'm Pondok Abang's Senior Business Development Executive. I joined the company in late 2018. I was previously from the hospitality industry, mostly country clubs. But I have familiarity with F&B lah. So when I joined Pondok Abang, I finally got to see the other end of the F&B value chain, which is the manufacturing side, and of course specifically the halal food industry. As Pondok Abang is a halal frozen food manufacturer.
So maybe we'll start with the first question. How have the local taste buds in Singapore changed and why?
Well, the local taste buds have not changed much. We say this because we are still used to the rich and spicy food of the various cuisines that we are used to. But having said that, we are generally open to trying different cuisines. And this is evident from the explosion of trending flavors such as Korean cuisine, salted egg, mala, etc.
So in this era whereby technology has been deeply embedded in our daily lives, how has technology contributed to the halal food scene in Singapore?
Well, technology such as social media and mobile apps have contributed much, especially during the circuit breaker periods. Retailers have learned how to leverage on what Facebook and Instagram and even WhatsApp and Telegram have to offer in terms of outreach to potential customers. And consumers themselves have relied much more on digital content to find out the latest products and search for competitive prices. Some retailers have set up their own e-commerce platform, which nowadays means that you don't need to know HTML or CSS coding. There are plenty of websites where you can where you can use to set up your online shop quickly, and these would be, for example, Shopify or Wix. Yeah.
So what are the challenges that you've identified when it comes to integrating technology with halal food?
Well, the initial setup cost is a challenge. Most people don't realize that whether you're buying hardware or software, it comes at a cost. It could be a one-time purchase, or it could be a license fee that you have to pay. Another challenge is also the time taken to learn the pros and cons of using and maintaining the technology. Efficiency and effectiveness comes at a steep initial cost, but the rewards pay off eventually if you keep your standards high. And the learning process is a continuous journey, and it's at a healthy rate of incline, meaning to say that you keep up with current trends. You try to ask around what are the tips and tricks, not necessarily shortcuts, but finding better ways to learn to use the hardware or software that you have enabled.
So the key is to taking that initiative to continue learning about all these new
That's right.
softwares and new technology. I see. So what can we expect to see in the future with regards to technology used for halal food?
Well, this part is very exciting. What we will see in the future will be first the frequent use of something called mixed reality technology. This is an amalgamation of virtual reality and augmented reality.
Yes.
You see this a lot in mobile phones. Certain apps are capable of doing this. When using this mixed reality technology, consumers can come very close to experiencing the cuisine of a brand or a vendor or a retailer, especially the history of the food, how it's prepared, how it's served. For retailers and brands, this is good because it means it's increased marketing, it's targeted marketing. It's less about just selling the product, and you're giving consumers more information about the product and the brand. From the business side, what we can see in terms of technology is blockchain. When the word blockchain was first mentioned, it was connected very closely to Bitcoin. But blockchain as a technology itself can be used to help ensure halal integrity in the international halal food chain supply. For example, halal certificates can be verified, and perhaps a worldwide central database can help bring the various suppliers and manufacturers together quicker and more efficiently than the current methods.
Okay. So, is this kind of technology has been integrated in Pondok Abang as well?
Well, blockchain, no, because blockchain is something very specific to certain developers. For us, I guess where we will come in will be as users of blockchain. But we know that there are parties, local and international, who are developing such platforms. But the technology that we are using is e-commerce. Our own website is running on an e-commerce platform. It's very user friendly, very little to no maintenance. In fact, multiple staff have access to it, and we have improved our efficiency at work. And this means that we are able to focus more on marketing. We are able to focus more on customer support, and of course, looking for new customers.
Thank you. So, here's more of a light-hearted question. So, if you were to define Singapore halal food in one word, what
Yeah.
would it be and why?
Okay. If you were to define Singapore halal food, diverse. We are a nation of multiple ethnicities.
Okay, that's true.
Singapore is known for that, and the melting pot of so many cultures means that we have access to so many different types of flavors and experiences, all without leaving Singapore. Not just the local flavors, but now there are international flavors in Singapore. You can go by Arab Street and have Lebanese cuisine, Middle Eastern cuisine. There are more and more Chinese halal cuisine popping up. You could even Japanese halal is also something that's been around for quite a while. So the
Yes.
word that we would use would be diverse.
Okay, so last question. How will the halal food lifestyle and scene change in Singapore, in the near future?
Well, more people and not just Muslims will understand what halal actually means and how vibrant halal can be, and that halal is not just restricted to Malay cuisine or Indian Muslim cuisine in Singapore. Consumers themselves will have a better understanding of halal integrity because of what retailers can do to educate them through the use of technology, from like the whole supply chain, from how livestock is slaughtered, according to halal methods, how it's processed, how it's shipped. When it comes to Singapore, then it goes through a second manufacturing process to the cooking in the kitchen. I mean, all this information was something that you had to be in the industry to know. But now with the internet, with social media, and most importantly with smartphones in our hands, practically almost all the time, we're able to see this kind of content. We're able to learn more. Muslims, I mean, for us as Muslims, we will gain better enhanced knowledge, and for non-Muslims, they will better understand what halal actually means, and it's not just a religious requirement that we have to follow, follow very strictly. But halal is for everyone, not just for Muslims. So this is what we can see a change in Singapore in the future.
Okay, thank you so much for your time. I think you shared a lot of great insights that would definitely benefit the halal food industry in
Right.
Singapore. Thank you.
Okay.
Have a great
Thank you
weekend.
so much. Thank you.
Thank you.